Rain pounded against the cracked windows of a lonely gas station on the edge of town. The neon sign flickered weakly in the storm, casting an eerie glow over the empty pumps. Inside, an elderly woman stood behind the counter, her hands trembling slightly as she counted the few remaining bills in her purse. Her name was Martha Green, 74 years old, widowed, and barely surviving on the remnants of her husband's small pension. Every cent mattered. Yet that night, fate was about to test her in a way she could never have imagined. If you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Universe, where real stories of compassion remind us what truly matters. Martha had run the small roadside store for nearly 30 years. Once upon a time, it had been full of life. Truckers stopping for coffee, travelers passing through, and her husband, Tom, whistling behind the counter. But after Tom's passing 5 years ago, the store became silent, almost ghostly. Most days she'd make just enough to buy groceries and pay for her medications. Other days, she skipped meals altogether. But Martha never complained. She'd look up at Tom's old photo hanging above the register and whisper, "We'll be all right, won't we?" That evening, the storm had driven away what little business she usually saw. The clock ticked past 9 p.m., and she began turning off the lights, ready to lock up when the growl of an engine echoed outside. Headlights cut through the rain as a lone biker pulled up, drenched and shivering. He killed the engine and staggered inside, dripping water all over the floor. He looked rough, leather jacket torn, beard thick, tattoos running down his neck, the kind of man most people would step back from. But Martha saw something else: exhaustion. His face was pale, his eyes distant. "Even, ma'am," he rasped, voice gravelly. "Sorry to bother you so late. I ran out of gas about 5 miles back. Just pushed the bike here. I think I lost my wallet somewhere on the road." Martha looked past him, spotting the faint outline of his motorcycle outside. The tank was bone dry. He tried to smile, embarrassed. "If I could just get a little gas, I'll pay you back, I swear. I just need to get home to my kid." Her heart twisted. She knew what it felt like to be desperate, to need help and have no one to turn to. She looked down at the $10 bill in her wallet, her last bit of cash until her next pension check. It wasn't much, but it was all she had to buy food for the week. She hesitated for a moment, then gently nodded. "Don't worry about it, dear. I'll get you some gas." The biker blinked, clearly surprised. "You don't even know me." Martha smiled softly. "I don't have to. You're someone's son, someone's father. That's enough." She went outside, shielding herself from the rain with an old newspaper, and filled a small can with gas. When she handed it to him, he tried to refuse. "I can't take that, ma'am. You look like you need it more than I do." Martha just chuckled. "Maybe I do. But sometimes helping someone else fills you up more than food ever could." The man's eyes glistened as he took the can. "Thank you. I won't forget this. What's your name?" "Martha," she said simply. "You take care of yourself, son." He nodded, mounted his bike, and rode off into the storm, disappearing into the night like a ghost. The next morning, the rain had stopped, leaving the world washed clean but still gray. Martha woke early, her joints aching as she made her way to the store. She opened the door to silence once again, the faint smell of dust and old wood greeting her. She poured herself a cup of coffee and sat by the window, staring at the empty road. That's when she heard it, a deep, rumbling sound in the distance. She frowned, setting her cup down. The noise grew louder. Engines, dozens of them. Martha stepped outside, squinting at the horizon. One by one, motorcycles appeared, not one or two, but a whole line of them stretching down the road. Chrome gleamed under the morning sun, and leather jackets flapped in the wind. 50 riders or more, all roaring toward her tiny gas station. Her heart began to race. For a moment, fear crept in. What could they possibly want? She clutched her shawl tighter as the first biker rolled to a stop in front of her. He took off his helmet, and there he was. The same man from last night. "Martha!" he called, smiling wide. "Told you I wouldn't forget." Before she could respond, he turned to the others. "This is the lady I told you about. The one who gave me her last $10 when I was stranded." Martha looked around, bewildered. Some of the riders nodded respectfully, others smiled warmly. Then one of them stepped forward, a large man with a beard braided in silver. "Ma'am, we're with the Iron Souls Motorcycle Club. Our brother here told us what you did. We came to say thank you." Martha stammered, "Oh, you don't have to." But before she could finish, another rider opened the back of a truck parked behind them. Inside was a brand new gas pump, boxes of supplies, shelves of groceries, and a shiny new sign that read Martha's Stop and Shop. She covered her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Oh, my heavens, what is all this?" The biker from last night stepped closer, eyes glistening. "You gave me more than gas, Martha. You gave me hope when I had none. I told my brothers about you, and we all pitched in. You're not alone anymore." The riders surrounded her, shaking her hand, hugging her gently one by one. They filled her store with new stock, painted the peeling walls, and even fixed the flickering sign outside. The once dying store came alive again, laughter, music, and kindness filling the air. As they worked, Martha stood back, wiping her eyes. It had been years since she'd felt this kind of warmth, this sense of belonging. For the first time since Tom passed, she didn't feel forgotten. When everything was done, the lead biker handed her a thick envelope. Inside was a stack of bills, enough to keep her store running for years. "This is from all of us," he said. "Thank you, gift from the road." Martha shook her head, overwhelmed. "I can't take this. It's too much." The biker smiled gently. "You already gave more than you had. Now it's our turn." She hugged him tightly, tears soaking his jacket. "Your mother must be proud of the man you've become." He swallowed hard. "She passed a long time ago, but if she were here, I think she'd say the same about you." Word spread quickly about the mysterious biker convoy that transformed an old woman's life overnight. Locals began stopping by her store again, not just to buy gas or coffee, but to meet the woman who inspired a gang of bikers to do good. News reporters came. Cameras rolled. But Martha never bragged or boasted. She always said the same simple thing: kindness has a way of finding its way back. Weeks later, one afternoon, a group of children came in to buy candy. Martha smiled and asked, "You kids ever help someone in need?" One boy nodded proudly. "My dad said we should, because one day someone helped a biker who helped you." Martha chuckled softly, her heart swelling. "That's right, dear. That's how kindness works. It travels." Outside, as the sun dipped below the horizon, she looked up at the new sign glowing above her store. Martha's Stop and Shop. The letters shone bright, just like the hope she'd thought she'd lost. She whispered softly, "Thank you, Tom. We're all right now." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Universe. Because every small act of compassion has the power to change a life. And as the wind carried the sound of distant engines down the open road, Martha smiled, knowing that her simple act of selflessness had lit a spark of kindness that would keep burning far beyond that lonely gas station forever.